dear ladies and gentlemen, dear representatives of diplomatic missions, cultural institutions, organizations, and media, dear members of the professional community around the world, around the Prague Quadrennial, following us online, dear friends, dear guests. It's my honor to welcome you to the announcement of the 16th edition of Prague Quadrennial of Performance Design and Space. Our esteemed speakers for today are David Kašpar, Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Culture of the Czech Republic, Jan Marian, Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Czech Republic, Pavla Petrova, General Director of Prague Quadrennial and Director of the Arts and Theatre Institute, Barbora Příhodová, Artistic Director of Prague Quadrennial, Adam Svoboda, Executive Director of the Prague Quadrennial, and Barbora Lajerová, Secretary of Committee for Czech Exhibitions. My name is Adam Dudek, I do communications for Prague Quadrennial, and our aim today is to introduce this specific event, briefly touching on its history, scope, focus, and relevance, and also to provide a bit more detail on the upcoming 16th edition, its artistic concept, program structure, how the program is composed, a bit of organizational details and timeline. I believe it will take us about an hour. Some of our speakers will be presenting in English, some of them will be presenting in Czech, and the interpretation is available in Czech, English, and Spanish. And therefore, I will make one technical note regarding interpretation, which I will present in all of those three languages one by one, so that we make sure that our viewers, both online and here in the room, can follow us in their preferred language. So, English first. For our viewers on Facebook, this stream here will be available only in Czech language. On YouTube, which is also transmitted on our website, the transmission will be in English. All three languages, including Spanish, are available only via the Zoom stream, which you can access via a red button on the page pq.cz/pq2027, or through the QR code you are seeing right now. The password for the stream is PQ, written in capital letters. Our guests in the room can switch between languages using the receivers with headphones. Channel 1 is Czech, Channel 2 is English, Channel 3 is Spanish. Pro naše diváky na streamu, na naší facebookové stránce budete...
Now over to English, actually repeating the same text, repeating where to listen to the stream. So again, use the QR code, which you should have in front of you. And the password is PQ in capital letters. Now explaining in Spanish. Takže
Our first speaker is David Kašpar, Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Culture of the Czech Republic. The floor is yours.
Buenos dias. Good afternoon to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, dear international guests, dear members of PQ family. It's my great pleasure to welcome you here on the occasion of the announcement of the Prague Quadrennial of Performance Design and Space. It's 16th years, which is going to be held on June 2027. And it's not the coincidence or non-coincidence that we are meeting in this space, because of course the Ministry of Culture is a proud partner and supporter of this international event. And let me greet you from our minister, Martin Baxa, who couldn't attend this occasion, but he's saying hi to everyone. The Prague Quadrennial has started in 1967, which is nearly 60 years now, and it's going to be exactly 60 years in 2027. And throughout this time, it was never interrupted. It kept going on despite all these social, political, and cultural changes, even in our country or within Europe or the world. And it's really a good thing, you know. And hopefully none of the further switches will change or influence this tradition. And during this time, during this 60 years, the PQ, as we call it, became an incredible partner for innovative and experimental scenography, architecture, design, art, etc. And it also became a very important a meeting point or melting pot, if you want, for artists, professional theorists, and mainly students, which created a community throughout this 60 years, and the community keeps growing with the event and offers a unique opportunity for dialogue, for diversity, for culture exchange, for culture diplomacy, and for democracy. And that's why we cherish this event, and that's why we support it, and that's why we will keep in supporting it in the future. I cannot promise the next 60 years for sure, but I will try to do so and to influence it. But anyway. Maybe one technical information. The festival or the event was organized and still is organized until at this moment by Theatre Institute, which is a budgetary organization of the Ministry of Culture. But beginning of 1st of July, there has been slightly changes. The organization will have the different name. It's going to be called National Institute for Culture, and it also has a new director, Mrs. Kateřina Churtaeva, which is presented here. Maybe that's Kateřina. And from the first July, she will take over the organization and keep going in the mission, which stays. So nothing changes. So let me wish good luck to all, to the managers, to the organizational team, to the programmers, to all the artists, and let me thank to all the family members, the PQ community, and hopefully we will meet in July 27 and enjoy the PQ 2027. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now it's my pleasure to give the floor to Jan Marian, Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic.
Many thanks. Good morning, Excellencies, colleagues, Mr. Deputy Minister. I just like to welcome you on behalf of the Foreign Ministry of Czechia as well. We have been a long-standing partner and supporter of the Prague Quadrennial, and as we have heard already and we have seen before, this is an event of exceptional scope and ambition with more than 100 countries and regions who have participated in this event. So this extraordinary level of involvement makes this not only one of the most significant events in the field of scenography and performance design in Czechia, but also a vital platform for cultural exchanges. And it's not only a major event in terms of this artistic reach, but also plays a vital role in the Czech cultural diplomacy as such. So this is one of the cultural events in Czechia with such broad and sustained international outreach. As you can see, our ministry is proud to be a long partner of the Prague Quadrennial, and we support its mission and promote to its international promotion. First, by facilitating invitations to participate via the network of the Czech embassies worldwide, and also by helping to spread the word about this event around the world. So I have also the pleasure to invite you to take part in already 16th edition of the Prague Quadrennial. We are looking to this event. And finally, I really have to appreciate first cooperation of our ministry with you, with the organizers, but also with the Ministry of Culture, Deputy Minister Kašpar and Director Hnízdo, our long-term partner. Many thanks. And this cooperation doesn't concern only such events, but we have also many long-term areas or venues for cooperation. And of course, we are looking forward to working with new Madam Director of the National Institute for Culture, and of course our doors at the Foreign Ministry and also the doors of the Czech centers, our branch for public diplomacy, are open to you. So we are looking forward to working not only on culture and public diplomacy, but also, for instance, on our new projects on branding of Czechia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Pavla Petrova, General Director of Prague Quadrennial and Director of the Arts and Theatre Institute.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, I take the liberty to switching to the Czech language because the PQ is announced in Prague and at the Czech Ministry of Culture. Dámy a pánové, vaše excelence, páni náměstci, já bych vás rovněž velmi ráda přivítala na vyhlášení Pražského Quadriennale 2027.
Also welcome you at Prague Quadriennale on behalf of the Arts and Theatre Institute, which organizes the event. Today we are announcing the 16th edition of PQ, and so let me briefly look back. As the General Director of PQ, I have had the opportunity to be involved in the organization of 5 editions of the event, and the world has changed dramatically during that time. The first of those 5 editions we prepared during the global economic crisis, followed by the massive development of social media, electronic communication, new media, and new technology. And this trend has significantly shaped both the nature and work presented at PQ, but also in the way in which the event is organized. COVID-19 pandemic significantly affected preparations for the last edition in 23. The cultural sector around the world is still struggling with its consequences today. Over the years, I have worked with 3 artistic directors and 5 executive directors and managers of PQ, and it's been really incredibly refreshing to collaborate with people who consistently keep bringing new ideas and impulses to the event. I have always greatly appreciated the ability to keep continuity in such a unique event within such a unique field. It's important to highlight that PQ 2011 to 23 took place in entirely different venues. Prague is a historical capital of Europe, and you can imagine that given the spatial demands of the PQ, it's always a significant challenge for the entire team. What I'm trying to say is that I've always experienced the PQ in motion, always in a certain phase of development or transformation. It will always be, for me, an event that draws from its long-standing tradition tradition, while simultaneously striving to provide space for unconventional ways of reflecting the contemporary world. During my work on PQ, I often felt a strong imbalance between the 4-year preparation period and the 10-day duration of the event, full of euphoria and adrenaline. This balance is necessary, definitely, because this is an exceptional global event which has impact on entire generations of creators in stage design, lighting, sound design, costume design, and other theater disciplines and forms. Although the PQ team organizes many projects, symposia, and publications between the editions, the 4-year organizational cycle is a long-distance run that demands patience and dedication from everyone. That's why it's a pleasure to share that we are already halfway through the preparation period. And it's my great honor and joy to announce the dates of the upcoming 16th edition of PQ, which will take place in between June 8 and June 17, 27. And the exhibition opening will be on Monday, June 7th in the evening. To conclude with, let me extend my thanks to the whole team, which intensely worked or has intensely worked on today's announcement and the PQ itself. Let me invite all of you to be members and an integral part of PQ 27. Thank you very much for your attention.
Now let's talk a little bit more in detail about the upcoming 16th edition of Prague Quadrennial of Performance Design and Space. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you the Artistic Director of Prague Quadrennial, Barbara Příhodová. Barbara, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Adam. Hello, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, guests, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends. Thank you for joining us for this event, whether you are here in this special space or online. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the artistic direction of the next PQ, and I would like to start by providing a little bit of context to what we would like to do. You have heard a couple of times already that the next PQ in 2027 will mark the 60th anniversary of this event. 60 years of continuous existence. We keep saying that because it's really an important thing that we cherish, this continuity, this ability to go on with this artistic event for so many years, despite all these different turbulent events of the 20th and 21st centuries as well. So we don't take it for granted, and we think that this anniversary really presents an opportunity for special recognition of this event that we all love so much. But it's also an opportunity to reflect on these 60 years. How have we evolved as Prague Quadrennial? What tendencies have we seen artistically, scenographically during all those years? What new trends, what new approaches have we witnessed? And as we reflect on this, we also, we feel like have to look at things that we may have overlooked, the gaps, the omissions, the proverbial blind spots. Are there things we have not noticed, things that have been unseen, unheard? We think it's important to look at those spaces as well. And these questions are important not just because they lead us to the past, but even more importantly, because they really chart the future for us and for what's to come. And as we began reflecting on these questions and thinking about the past 60 decades, one thing became very clear. Scenography and performance design has changed quite a lot, but it's not just scenography itself that has changed. It's our understanding of it, or the way we think about it, that has changed. The early editions of PQ were clearly shaped by the need to define scenography, to legitimize the art discipline and practice, and create this shared field of artists, of thinkers, of students. There was this need to establish that scenography is a distinctive, specific discipline that has its tools, that has its own criteria, its own methods. And there was also a strong sense to create this field for this one scenography. But today, almost 60 years later, even though we still share this ambition, this desire to continue building the shared understanding, to build the shared field, we know that there is no one scenography, there is no single definition. Instead, there are multiple scenographies, different ways of practicing, different ways of making, different ways of thinking that take place across cultures, across contexts, and traditions. And so now, at PQ, perhaps even with a more emphasis, we do want to embrace and celebrate this multiplicity and this diversity, because we aim to create space that all these many scenographies can meet, sometimes perhaps challenge each other, and definitely enrich one another. Because we believe that it is in this multiplicity that the true richness of the field lies. And so questions like this and reflections like this have also led to defining and identifying the theme, the very theme of the next Prague Quadrennial. And so for the next one, we would like to invite all artists, curators, our audiences to turn their attention to absences and silences in their many forms. Of course, we want to be looking at things that have been missing, that have been maybe omitted, overlooked, or overheard. But also we want to be looking at intentional artistic strategies. And ultimately, we want to be looking at speculative spaces, spaces for imagining what might come next. And if I can elaborate on this a little bit more, I think this theme invites us to think on 3 levels. So we can look at the topic historically, and again, we can be trying to emphasize practices or perspectives that have been erased or neglected. We can ask questions like, what legacies have we missed that continue to shape us? But also we can look at this topic aesthetically, and we can focus on absences and silences as scenographic approaches that that help to shape performance, that maybe help to find rhythm of time and space, that maybe open space for reflection, create space for engaged senses, or establish new relationships between bodies and spaces and audiences. And finally, and most importantly, we want to look at these absences and silences as spaces of openings. Openings for something new, something that have not emerged yet, but might be in the future in the world of scenography and performance design, as our sort of gaze looking into the future. And this is what we want to offer at PQ 2027 ultimately. We hope to create a platform for imagining what scenography can become. And so we invite all curators across all the sections and projects to engage with these themes and with these questions in creative ways. And as we meet in Prague in 2027, we hope to collectively materialize absences and silences and their potential to generate something new, something else. So this was the theme, and now I would like to say a few words about the place. I'm happy to share that in 2027 we're going to be returning to the Prague exhibition grounds in Prague 7 Holešovice. That's the emblematic venue that hosted the very first PQ in 1967. So it feels particularly symbolic that we can come back to this place and have our gathering there. The place itself has been through a lot. It's currently undergoing major reconstructions. It is set to be fully renovated by 2026. And so our participants can look forward to having the facilities and everything in a very good shape. We're going to be using the majority of the site, including the industrial palace, the 4 Křížík pavilions, and also all the extensive open-air areas. And we will also, as it is common, have certain activities and events throughout the city of Prague as well. So that's the place. And now I'm moving on to talking a little bit about the structure of the program. Let me begin by saying that for 2027, there are 2 sort of major groups of these program sections. The first are our exhibitions curated by participating countries and regions. In this group, we have exhibition of countries and regions and student exhibition. These are our traditional, the 2 long-standing iconic exhibitions that date back to the beginnings of the PQ. They are curated by the participating countries and regions, and they present scenography and performance design in their local context. We always look forward to seeing new developments, new impulses, new tendencies that have occurred over the past 6 years. And secondly, we will have program sections prepared by PQ Curatorial team. And here, if you have been at PQ before, you're going to be familiar with some of those sections. In this way, we are continuing, sometimes slightly expanding or modifying the program, the work that was done by the previous leadership of PQ, and we're very proud to do that. One modification I would like to highlight right away is the participation of students and emerging artists. PQ has always believed in the importance of the upcoming generations, and for the next edition, we will try to include them into all the program sections curated by the PQ team to the greatest extent possible. If I can now go briefly over the individual program sections curated by our curatorial team, I'll start with PQ 60. That is our special section that is dedicated to the CEST anniversary, that really focuses on all those transformations over the past 60 years, but also what's next. As a part of this program section and really line of continuous programming that we have already started, we are looking at our archives, we are digitalizing them, we are restructuring them, we're conducting research in them. We are going to be holding an online symposium. We plan publications and other activities and initiatives. One thing I'll highlight right now, that during June 2027, we will have a immersive installation that will present and look at these transformations and developments of PQ 60. We are using our archives as the foundation for this installation, and we are curating it as a PQ. But we also invite participating countries and regions to join us in preparing this installation by means of an open call. Next is PQ Performance Space, which is one of those traditional exhibitions that go back to the very beginnings of PQ, formerly known as theater architecture. In recent editions, this has been reframed, reconceptualized as PQ Performance Space. And that really is a section that presents a range of different spaces and environments where performances unfold across the globe. And this section will be open for professionals and students. Then we have PQ Performance, which is a section that underscores the fact that scenography is always a part of a bigger whole of a performance. It really only happens here and now when experienced by the audiences. And so this section will bring a number of performances that are scenographically rich, that are design-led in a range of spaces. And this will be open again to both professionals and students. PQ Talks, that is a series of conversations, of keynotes, roundtables, and presentations about scenography and performance design. Again, both students and professionals are very welcome to apply. And then we have PQ Publication Cultures. That is a section that highlights publications in the broad sense of the word, not only books, that are being produced in the field of performance design and scenography, and also looking at the communities of knowledge that produce them and sustain them. This section houses the very popular Best Publication Award, and as a new addition will also contain some live programming where selected publications will be presented and discussed as part of PQ27. And finally, we have PQ Hive, which is our programming for children, youth, and their families. This is really a section that invites the non-professional, wider audiences into the world of PQ and into the worlds of scenography. We hope that we're gonna show them the world and make them excited about it as much as we are. We believe that it's important to create our future audiences. So that's kind of the focus of this section. Okay, so this was an summary of the artistic concept and overview of the program sections. I'm sure there will be opportunities to talk about things in more detail. But for now, I have the great pleasure to invite as well, but rather introduce our wonderful curators, the group of international outstanding artists and researchers that have agreed to join us in preparing the next Prague Quadrennial. Some of them are with us here in this room because they're local, but because many of them are not based in Prague, we have invited them all to present themselves through videos in their own words. So this is all from me, and here are our curators. Thank you.
My name is Anna Hejnová. I'm a curatorial researcher and author in the field of visual culture, theater, photography, and the history of performative space. Last decade, I collaborated with the Collection and Archives Department at the Arts and Theatre Institute. For this year, prepare PQ60 as a special program marking the 60th anniversary of Prague Quadrennial in 2027. We prepare for you activities as immersive installation, new PQ archive, academic and artistic research, and popularization of PQ and scenography at all. We are looking for answers to the question how we have transformed as a domestic institution and global community. From our current position, we try to interpret the past and formulate the future. So see you at PQ27.
Hello, my name is Sara Franqueira. I'm from Portugal and I'm based in Lisbon. For the next PQ, I'm delighted to be the curator of the Performance Space exhibition and to join an outstanding international team. And I'm so excited to receive multiple and inspiring views of one of my interests, which is the performance space's diversity. I study architecture, did a master's degree in theater studies and a PhD researching scenography and performance design. I work mostly as a performance designer, but also as a researcher and as a culture mediator, and I'm professor at the Theatre and Cinema Lisbon School. In the last 3 editions of PQ, I participate in the PQ Talks, and in the last one, I was one of the curators of the student section from Portugal. For 2027, I'm very enthusiastic to design a space that fosters creativity, that asks questions, and possible to shape our future invention. And finally, to address the richness of our shared place, a special invitation in Portuguese, a language spoken by millions across continents. Venham participar na Quadrennial de Praga. See you all in Prague.
Hola, my name is Pedro Grameña Ardiles. I am director and scenographer from Chile, and I am the curator of PQ Performance. My artistic practice research on the everyday and the agency of costumes and masks, and how, with the use of these queer strategies, we can twist our relation with reality. I have participated on the past 3 editions of the Prague Quadrennial with my collective Complejo Conejo, and in 2023 I was the main curator of the Chilean pavilion for the exhibition of countries and regions with the project Memento Mori, Animitas of Chilean Theater Design. PQ Performance will be our playground to explore and push beyond the surface, and it will be open to the most diverse and complex and strange ways of doing, thinking, and making theater. So I'm looking forward to see your proposals and see you in Prague.
Hi, my name's Rachel Han, and I'm an associate professor in performance and design at Northumbria University in the UK. And I'm really proud to be working with my fellow curators, Renato and Barbara, on the PQ Talks section. For me, the PQ Talks are always a really exciting space where we can frame, debate, and further forward our collective understandings of performance design, scenography, and all the designed elements in theatre. I've also been fortunate enough, my first PQ was in 2011, and throughout that time period I've been hugely inspired by the work of Dorita Hanna, in particular the way in which she brings together interesting and challenging voices, both in terms of format but also topic. And I'm really excited to take on that ambition for the PQ Talks and welcome you to PQ 2027.
Hello, I'm Renato Bolelli Rebouças, a Brazilian set designer, costume and production designer based in São Paulo. I work with theater, dance, opera, performance art, film and exhibitions, and I'm also professor at São Paulo University, researching the idea of an expanded scenography from the Global South inside specific projects. I've been involved with Prague Quadrennial since 2003 as a student, after artist, professor, and curator. In 2023, I co-curated the Brazilian Countries and Regions exhibition and collaborated with global and Latin American perspectives in the talks. In this edition, I'm one of the curators of PQ Talks. I look forward to meet you in Prague to share and discuss new and forgotten ideas, bring together different voices around the world. Hope to see you there.
Hi, my name is Marketa Fontova. I am a scenographer, performance designer based in Prague, but also in New York. I'm a pedagogue and educator. I spent many years teaching in New York State and will be again, but also working for Roby Lighting, leading their NRG education section. And PQ has been always a very important part of my life, not just the education part, but also exhibitions. Pretty much every part of PQ I had tried to somehow incorporate into my professional life. I had been an artistic director for 2019 and 2023, which has been a huge learning journey for me. And I'm really excited to be leading PQ Studio section for 2027. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Prague.
I'm Pavel Drábek. I'm a theatre scholar, educator and practitioner, and I have worked with PQ since 2017 when the artistic director Markéta Fantová invited me to join because she liked the way I ask questions and think about scenography, although I am not a scenographer. And I've been curator and co-curator for PQ 2019 and PQ 2023, and the current artistic director Barbora Příhodová has invited me to take a program for 2027. My program is called PQ Publication Cultures, and I'm interested in all the knowledge that the wonderful communities around scenographic practices create, generate, and share. And I'm looking forward to talking about this, to presenting and exhibiting all that knowledge. See you in Prague.
So these were our curators. Thank you very much to all of them. Thank you very much, Bara, one more time. Our next speaker is the Executive Director of Prague Quadrennial, Adam Svoboda, who will elaborate a little bit in detail on the organizational aspect of the thing, application processes, and the timeline. Adam, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, still good morning. I would like to give you an overview of how to participate in the Prague Quadrennial program and present all the important dates for the upcoming 2 years. Following the introduction of the international curatorial team of Prague Quadrennial, I will now talk about the curated program sections, which you just been introduced to. These sections are open to both individuals and artistic collectives, and participation will be possible through the open calls. On October 1st, 2025, this is an important date, we will launch open calls for all curated program sections, thus initiating the entire application process. While all calls will be launched simultaneously, each will follow a slightly different timeline and deadline. For this reason, we recommend regularly checking our website for updates. In addition, during the month of October, we will hold an online Q&A webinar where we will discuss each of the calls in greater detail and answer any related questions you might have. The exhibition of countries and regions and student exhibition in which countries and regions nominate their own curators follow a different process. An official invitation to participate in these two exhibitions is being sent out now through the embassies of individual countries and regions of the Czech Republic, as well as through the Czech Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its embassies worldwide. Each country and region will then appoint a curator and institution which will work directly with the Prague Quadrennial organization team. This process begins today with the announcement of the team, vision, location, and aforementioned invitation. Next week, on June 26, we will hold an online webinar to provide a detailed explanation of the process with ample time for your question. A second similar webinar, also considering exhibition of countries and regions and student exhibition, will follow on September 17. The deadline to confirm participation is November 30th this year, by which time each participating country or region must inform the Prague Quadrennial organizing team of the appointed curator for their exhibition. To conclude, I would like to share with you the timeline for the next 2 years, where you can clearly see all the important dates I've mentioned. I would also like to invite you to 2 upcoming symposias. The first will take place online on the 17th, 11th, and 12th of this year, and will be dedicated to the PQ60 project, which Barbara spoke about before. The second symposium will be held in person in mid-April next year, 2026, and will include a special program for curators of exhibitions of countries and regions and student exhibition. During this symposium, we will walk through the exhibition spaces and discuss all the key organizational, production and technical aspects. All important information can be found in our brochure, and we look forward to seeing you and answering your questions next week during our webinar dedicated to the participation in the exhibition of countries and regions and student exhibition. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. And our last speaker for today is Barbora Lajerová. And Barbora will be talking also about the exhibition of countries and regions and the student exhibition, specifically about the Czech entries within those two exhibitions and the related open competition. Barbora.
Thank you, Adam. I will be speaking Czech language. Vážené dámy, vážení...
Ladies and gentlemen, our selection committee of PQ has decided on an open call, and I should like to inform you about that. It's officially announced by the Ministry of Culture of the Czech Republic, but the coordinators are the Institute of Arts. As of 1st July, the National Institute for Culture. The selection committee, which will decide on who will be represented in PQ, is appointed by the Minister of Culture and composed of experts such as members of the academia, expert public, or theoretician. Thanks to its membership, the Commission is really very good at understanding stage design, costumes, new media, and performance design. We are participating administratively. We are providing a secretary who is the coordinator here. The open call to select the Czech participation will be in 2 rounds. In the first round, the candidates will present their concept, and in the second round they will work the concept into detail, including the visuals, and then present to the expert committee by themselves. The committee will then evaluate based on their pre-selected criteria. The participation is not limited by any conditions, but it has to fit into the exhibition space. We have the following timeline in mind. The deadline for the first round is for the countries and regions on October 28, and for student exhibition on November 3. The second round entries deadline is December 8, 25. The winners will be announced at the beginning of next year, and it will go through the online form. Unlike the past PQs, the Ministry of Culture decided to invest more money or dedicate more money, and therefore we are expecting 1,400,000 for exhibition of countries and regions, and 800,000 Czech crowns for the student exhibition. This shows that we really want PQ to be represented well in the Czech Republic. We've got participants who will also get compensation of 15,000 Czech crowns for their participation in the second round. All information pertaining to this open call will be circulated on our web, and we are very much looking forward to seeing you there in the first and second rounds.
A lot has been said and shown, and we are aware that we try to fit a lot of information into the program of this announcement. But do not worry if you didn't catch everything. We prepared a general information document document, which will be available today on the website of the Prague Quadrennial, featuring the complete artistic concept, information about the program, application processes, deadline, and the schedule of upcoming activities. So I encourage you to scroll through the document and share it with anyone who might be interested in your country or region. But still, if there are any questions right now, here is a time. Now is a time for them.
Thank you, Veronika Jošková Štefanová from the Czech radio. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I have missed the person who would be responsible for the Hive, the Kids, Youth and the Families program at the Prague Quadrennial. Thank you.
You haven't missed the person yet. That's still a work in progress. It's gonna definitely be someone, an artist or a collective local that we're gonna be working with on preparing this.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? If not, thank you so much to all of our speakers. Thank you so much for your participation today. And I hope we have sparked your interest at least a bit in the upcoming edition of the Prague Quadrennial. And please join us for a coffee in the room next doors. And let's keep the conversation out there. Thank you very much.